If you think about it, we're spending a third of our lives working, and 80% of the world is spending a third of their lives working, and they're miserable. They don't like their jobs. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the LeadHer Lounge. Today's episode comes actually from some of that feedback that we were asking for while we were on break for a little bit. And we talked a lot about communication the last 2 weeks. This week is going to be the second most important thing that came up when we were asking for people to tell us what it is that they're struggling with at work, and employee engagement, which is really, it is, we're kind of in a culture crisis right now, to be completely honest. I think we were doing some research and looking at some Gallup statistics, and it is shocking to know that 80% of employees are disengaged at work. So if you think about it, we're spending a third of our lives working, and 80% of the world is spending a third of their lives working, and they're miserable. They don't like their jobs. They don't like their bosses. We've heard that a million times too. People don't quit jobs. They quit bosses. So that is why we do what we do at Monarch. Actually, that's a huge driver of why we started this company. And it's to help people, leaders specifically, create engaging workplaces where people want to work and people like the people that they work with. And you don't have to suffer through and just try to survive through your day, but you can actually have a productive, effective, and happy, thriving, if you will. Survive, not thrive. Yeah, no, thrive, don't survive.
Yes, definitely, Taylor. That's the reason why we do what we do, because we try to even engage ourselves. Sometimes we are disengaged, and no, it's not because of how we communicate, how we treat each other, but just because of the work itself. Mm-hmm. So as leaders, we have that power. Maybe the company has some policies that, or maybe we as leaders don't have leaders that are trying to engage us, but we do have so much power and a lot of opportunity to do this. So we're going to cover 3 reasons why team members are disengaged, like the main ones, and what can you do. Okay, mm-hmm. So the first one is limited growth opportunities.
Yeah.
So if you don't know where you're going after this role, if your leader hasn't talked about what is the next step, what am I doing, what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. What I'm putting effort if I know there is no opportunities for me in the future. So the sad thing, or no sad, but the next thing that team members have, the next opportunity that they have is usually to be a leader, a manager, a supervisor. So they're forced to be that person. Maybe you were forced to be that person. In your mind, you didn't want to be a leader, but that was the next step. That was the next thing that was going to give you a little bit more of a salary, a little bit more of a different title and importance. Mm-hmm. Yes, like self-confidence. But that is not the main reason why you should be a leader.
No, and understand the things that we talk about in this podcast and this YouTube channel, like how to be empathetic, how to be their authentic self, but also be professional and have emotional intelligence. Like, these people are so used to going to work, doing their job, and then leaving and wanting something else. Then they get that something else. And now that something else is you're a leader. Guess what? You get to not do what you're doing anymore, but now you're leading people instead.
Yes. So that's why we believe in developing leaders. We do believe that maybe not everybody should be a leader because they don't really want. They want to just worry about themselves. And being a leader is caring about everybody else, putting everybody else first, serving them. So if that's the only option that your team members have, they don't even know that they have that option, they're going to quitting, right? Because they're just gonna be unmotivated because they don't know what is the next step. They don't, and you are not providing that for them as well.
I will add a caveat to be devil's advocate. A lot of roles don't necessarily have a next step too. So with that, I think people just need to know what the purpose of their role is.
Yes, but
you know what I mean?
They can be mentors. They can be, there are a lot of roles that are seniors in their, whatever they do. They can be the ones that are helping the summer team members or like the interns.
Yeah.
Like have all the roles that maybe are going to help them in their future to find something different, because it is hard when you don't know some people don't want anything else and they're fine
Yeah,
where they are. So we're talking about the ones who are wanting more. Those ones, especially millennials and Gen Zs, that they just want more. What is next? If not, I'm going to move to the next company. That's why the turnover rates are so high. So high. Okay, so let's do the next one. Something that we have talked a lot about, lack of recognition and rewards.
Yeah. Talked in the 5 languages of appreciation about how you need to tailor the recognition to the people, the person that you're recognizing. So if Erica is more motivated, let's say, by tangible things, she's not at all. But if she was, and I was only giving her like words of affirmation or a pat on the back, like, good job, she probably is like, I'm working for something tangible and I'm not getting that. So now I'm getting a little bit demotivated instead of more motivated from that recognition. So you want to be very specific about that. But at the same time, it's not just recognizing someone the wrong way. It's just people aren't recognizing people at all. At all. Yeah. They're not getting any recognition in their roles
just
at all.
Appreciate what people does. And start with when you go to a store, as simple as somebody that is serving you or the security guard or some appreciate for whatever they do. Like that appreciation is kind of like, it's a muscle you have to develop. And if you don't do that for people that are literally serving you, like a waitress, like they are there, what can you expect of doing that with like your team members? We need to appreciate everything and everybody that surrounds us because they're doing their job, but they're also doing something for us. So it's so easy to say thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I appreciate this. Like you cannot imagine. Thank you so much. Like even if for us it's we talk about this, maybe as a leader, you don't need to be recognized. You would say, I don't need to be recognized. This is my job. This is what I need to do. I will do it. That's you, but know your team members. That's how you feel. And I respect that, but it doesn't mean that your team members feel the same way. So they need that recognition. They definitely need that.
Yes.
And number 3, poor leadership and management. That's the third one. And actually, we have some data where managers are currently 11% less happy than the previous year, particularly under pressure from AI demands.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure because of AI
happening.
And team leaders, you don't know what is going on with AI. You don't know how to adapt this in your roles, and it is stressful. And this is definitely unmotivating a lot of people.
Yeah, especially leadership.
Yes, and I think this, more than for leaders, this message is for companies and organizations, because you guys are the ones who have to provide resources for your leaders to communicate these changes, to adapt these changes. So that more than the leader's power is going to be the organization power. So if you own a company, if you are a founder, a CEO, find ways to train your leaders. Because if they're disengaged, I assure you, your team members are disengaged.
Absolutely. It's a top-down thing.
Yes, it is a top-down.
Yeah. I think that's what our slogan at Monarch is transforming company culture from the top down, because it is a top down thing. If your leaders are not getting the support that they need with these new initiatives that are coming out and all of these new scary AI things that are coming out as well, then they're not going to be able to support their employees. And that's why it's just, again, it's a trickle down effect. Like when the leaders are disengaged or the leaders are not wanting to be where they're at or they're not getting the support that they need, the employees are in the exact same boat. So yes, it's a top-down phenomenon.
Yes. Now, 2 things that you as a leader can do. The first one, instead of just asking for feedback, train your team members to lead conversations themselves.
Yeah. I love the phrase like teach a man to fish, instead of give a man a fish. So it's the same thing. If you teach your employees where to look for their resources, where to go, instead of being the only resource and the only thing that can answer questions and the only, person that's available, don't do that to yourself. Yeah. Help them help themselves, because that's going to help you in the long run, but it also helps engage them too. Some people love a challenge. I love a challenge. Like, okay, I'm not going to go to my leader with this right away and get the answer. I'm going to try and actually research it and search it out for myself and feel more accomplished that I actually solved the problem. And then I'll report back with what I did.
And the second thing and last is just reconnect the human impact of their work.
Something that can feel like a very mundane task. If you take a step back and really look at it from, a bird's eye view, it can actually be a really big impact. And a lot of real estate agents and mortgage companies, they tell themselves or their employees, like, we are making people's dreams come true. We're helping someone buy their first home. I know, like, my mother-in-law, she was 60 something and bought her first home. That's wild. But those people that are underwriting the loans or the title company that's doing all the paperwork, that's just a job for them. If it's your job as the leader to be the one that's saying,
remind them,
and remind them of their purpose. Like, I'm actually helping someone accomplish something so significant. So
yes, even client service. How annoying it is to have to pick up your phone and call someone and make an appointment or communicate, like try to communicate with a bank or make an appointment is so annoying. But when somebody's just so nice to you, you don't know how that person's day is going, and then just somebody is nice with them and you're like, okay, the world is good again.
Right.
I love the world and people again. I believe in humanity.
An engaged employee can change the world.
Yes. And the way that is a ripple effect, because the way that you engage with your team members is the way that your team members are going to engage with their clients and so on. So the client's experience is gonna, of course, impact the way that your employees feel.
Yeah.
And we are not just doing it for your clients. We are doing it for me.
The butterfly effect.
Yes, the butterfly effect. Yeah. No, I think we're good with this one. Yes.
Awesome. Well, if you guys have any ideas on how to engage your employees, or maybe you're struggling with engaging your employees, let us know in the comments below. Again, if you haven't already, please subscribe.
Yes, and we will see you next week, leaders.
Bye.